BKK1.
Love that one, of course, taking you back in time. Of course, the first of the first 2025 here over in Thailand. What can we say? It's nice and hot here in the studio. It's even hotter outside. And, of course, over in the UK, Mr. Goldfinger, ready to pounce on me. He's looking rather intense and ready to go today. Rough and ready, that's what he says he is today. Goldfinger, how you doing, my man? How you feeling?
I'm okay, but I'm part of the problem because I still keep getting messages on Facebook, wishing me a happy new year and things.
Yeah.
I can't really control that, so we'll just have to grin and bear it, won't we?
Well, you call it that.
The year, of course, in Thailand isn't 2025, is it?
No, because you have to take, what is it? It's
2,525.
Yeah, 400 years.
500 years ahead.
400 years, is it?
No, I think it's 5, love.
500, that'll make it 2,724.
525.
500. Oh, yeah, because it's 025, isn't it? Yeah, that's right. Yeah, sure.
Yeah, 2525.
I was never ever good.
25.
Yeah.
Remember that song?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, knew him well. Great friend.
It's very relevant.
Yeah, good friend. Now, listen, I have had it from a good source. We of course, down here in the old news studios, we tend to try and find out everything. That a little birdie tells me that you are trying to get on a plane.
I am, but I'm so torn. The flights, the range from 14 hours to 56 hours journey time.
Who the hell's going to do 56 hours?
They couldn't give it to me.
I was going to say you could flap your arms and get there quicker, Daz.
Absolutely, yeah. You couldn't give that flight to me. But of course, the shorter alternatives put 3, 4, and 5 times the price.
Maybe if you didn't type in Goldfinger and you typed in something like Copperfinger, you might get it cheaper.
Yeah, maybe so.
But I mean, in all seriousness, 19 hours. What is that? Is that? Well, I would imagine that calculation in my head is roughly what 4 or 5 hours. 4 hours stopover. 5 hours stopover.
Well, it's roughly a 12-hour flight.
Yeah.
And there's usually a break in the middle, as you know.
Right.
Anything over 12 hours is usually waiting time to change flights halfway.
Yeah, but you can normally nick an hour anyway, because like an hour, 30 minutes to get out and 30 minutes to get in. So roughly you can write 45 minutes off anyway, can't you, off that? From getting off the plane.
Time. It's not a problem. Just long enough to have a coffee or
no, it's not. No.
Cigarette if you smoke.
Stick a pair of headphones on, listen to an audio book.
Yeah.
Why not?
Yeah, or
watch a film.
Read one.
Yeah. The last time I read anything, it was my rights.
Yeah, well, I've also been delayed because I have a close family member that's a bit poorly, and I don't really want to. It feels like abandonment, for me leaving for my own thing. But I get treatment, as you know, when I come to Thailand. I get loads of treatment for the injuries and stuff.
I do.
Sustained. So not going because I have a family member that's ill. I'm kind of depriving myself of a bit of treatment.
No. Many a time I've taken you on my back to the clinic, so we won't talk about that though. Many a time.
Yeah, it's amazing how you manage to do that. You take me on your back while being on my back all the time.
Oh, by the way,
when you say that, are you being specific or non-specific?
Specific about you getting on my back and I'm me carrying you?
That's a notion, isn't it?
What, sorry?
Are you being specific or non-specific?
I know where you're going. He knows. Let me tell you. I'm going to tell you because otherwise I'm going to sound like a dick. And he knows it. That's why he's laughing in front of me. That's why he's laughing. He knows I have difficulty in saying that word. So do you want me to try and say it?
Absolutely.
Right. You say it first.
Specifically.
No,
it begins with an S, not a P.
Okay.
So I'll do it again. Specifically.
Particularly.
Shut up. Let's move on, David, shall we? Because in a month of Sundays, you ain't going to get that. You know that, and I know that.
What's another word for that?
For specifically,
Yes.
I'm not telling you because you start to use it.
Oh, that's what happens. That's what happens when you've known each other too long. You just know which alley you're going down. So, okay, listen. I mean, we know years and years ago. I mean, you came to Thailand before I did. I used to come on Eva Air when I first came here. It was a direct flight, and it was £345 return. When I first came here.
To me, yeah.
Similar to you. I travelled. I think I travelled on Eva Air all the time, except one time. I think I went on Thai or BA or something. That's about it. The only other times I've travelled out of Thailand is when I went to Norway, which was with Norwegian.com, which was super cheap. Who's now coming back in? They went out, they phased out, and now they're bringing back in Norwegian.com.
Right.
And that was a few years ago, and it was about £550-600 each for me and my son to go all the way to Norway. And the thing is as well, the internal flight in Norway is near enough the same price as flying from Norway to Bangkok. Yeah,
that's strange.
It is, but if you buy it as one ticket,
yeah,
it's mega cheaper.
Yeah.
But
you can do that in England from Yorkshire, where I am in God's country. You can get a flight on British Airways, so you go to Manchester, fly down to Luton, I believe it is, and then it's straight through to Thailand, 12 hours. I've done that twice. A great flight. I don't mind not stopping as much as I don't mind stopping to change over. But that were all right. But each time on the return flight, there was a 4-hour delay. Happened every time, which meant that I missed my last connecting flight from London to Manchester.
Do they reimburse you for that?
Yeah, both times. They put me up in an hotel, give me your next flight, morning, next flight, and then reimburse me for the cost of the whole thing plus the inconvenience. So,
do you think
airline?
Do you think this, and I mean this in a nice way, of course I do, is do you think it's good for you to do the stint on the flight and then have a rest and then get on another flight for a little bit of a stint and then come here, or would you just prefer to fly all the way through quick?
I think I prefer going all the way through,
interesting.
Because it's that schlepping about the airports, and no, it's too much.
But if you've got like a 7-hour layover, number one is there's no rush. You can go at your own pace. There's no rush. You can sit down. You can recharge your batteries and have a relax, do whatever you want to do, a bit of an eat, and have a stretch as well, and then get on a plane for 4 hours and come here, whatever it is. Would that not?
Well, if I were going to advise anybody who were going to have a 7+ hour or so layover, to pay for the lounge, for the use of the lounge.
Okay.
Because at least the chairs are comfortable. I mean, it's like being sat in a bus station, being sat in an airport.
I've been to lounges before where you can actually go to the reception counter and you can pay, can't you? And you can get a band and they let you go into the lounge, and there's a buffet thing inside and the chairs and the TVs and all those kind of things. Probably different.
Yeah, but that's very expensive to do it that way.
Is it?
You need to. Yeah. Well, I've only done it a couple of times, but I usually do it on booking the flight itself.
Right.
Once they've got you captured and you go, oh, by the way, can I use the VIP or the lounge or whatever it is you want to? Oh yeah, that'll be £50, sir.
Yeah, to go in and eat a couple of sausage rolls. Yeah.
And now I can't rest because I feel like I've been ripped off.
I mean, let's put it this way. I mean, how long ago was it we were in Thailand? I mean, I can't actually remember how long ago it is.
Yeah, it's about a year and a half since I was last in Thailand. Can I see a little grin flickering on your face there, Dave?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I'm just smiling at all the people that are on at the moment that are just going to have their injections. So, their injections, I think they're waiting for.
About a year and a half thereabouts since our last in Thailand.
So that's like. What about COVID? You didn't come. You came just after COVID.
Winnie this time. I made him stay at home, but to be honest, if it weren't for travelling to Thailand, I wouldn't have had the inoculations.
Oh right, nice one there. Yeah,
you couldn't fly, you couldn't get in anywhere without the certificates that they give you to say you've been inoculated.
Yeah. All right. So is it true then? I mean, I was looking at your biography, your bio on Facebook, that you always slow down before you think of words. Is that right?
Sometimes that is right.
Yeah, good. All right, good. So you're looking at coming around about the middle of this month over to Thailand. We're talking of flights of what? We're talking of flights around about what, 500 quid?
One way.
One way.
One way.
Interesting. I mean,
you can get a flight for 3,500 quid, but then we're going into the realms of
like we said, yeah. I think one thing that we can do, that I'd like to do for you just before you do it, if you can give me half a day, I will put a post on our Facebook site, which, as you know, has got 5,000 followers on it, and ask anybody the cheapest way of flying from Manchester to Bangkok. Does anybody know anything? Maybe somebody might give us a link or might know something that we don't know.
That'd be great.
I think isn't that worth a try?
Yeah, of course it is.
I think so.
Tomorrow or something.
I think because at the moment coming over in a Zeppelin is not really what you're used to, is it?
No, but if push comes to shove, I would.
Oh, you like a bit of push and shove, yeah?
Oh, well, it depends who's pushing and shoving, but
there we go.
Yeah.
There we go. Of course, you're going to be going up. I do know that when you come over to Thailand, you'll be going up the village.
Oh, yeah? Right. Thank God that was the end. Yes, I'll be. I'll be going up the village. What are you smiling at? Don't be making your own jokes, okay? Shame on you.
No, I was just thinking I could have laid that one out a bit further, but I was nice to you.
Sorry. Yeah.
I was nice to you.
Yeah, I'll be going now. I get a lot of treatment up there in the village, and it's very cost effective. Get to see Gung, the dogs, and it's nice and chilled out.
Good.
And you can go to Thailand under something that's called, what is it now? It's Good Health and Well-Being or something like that.
Right.
Some title like that. You don't fill the cards in anymore, do you?
No. It's now since I think it's on the 7th. I think it's the 5th or the 7th of January that all the countries in the world are visa free for Thailand. Because at the moment it's 94 countries.
Wow.
And also there was no TM6 card, the TM1 or TM6 or whatever you filled out the white card on the plane. None of that no more. That's gone.
No.
So
no, it's okay, isn't it? That's good. It's a good thing.
Yeah, I mean they've got the other one. They've got there's two things at the moment that I do know of that I've just done some stories on. They've got one for the Muay Thai, for the fighting and the boxing and the training and all those kind of things. You can come over here on one of those visas. It's for a year. It's free, okay, and you can come over on a year as long as you're doing that, and you only have to report once a year. Yeah, on that one, yeah. There's also the medical side to it, which a lot of people do come here, as you do yourself. There's a lot of people that come over here for medical reasons, and at the moment, I don't know if it's out yet, but there will be a medical visa for Thailand as well that they're trying to bring in. They're trying to make it easier for people to come to Thailand. They've got to do that, Goldfinger. They have to do it. There's no alternative, because if you've got the guy in the UK that goes, I'm looking at a flight to Bangkok, I'm looking at a hotel, I'm looking at this, that's $10,000, it's $2,500. I can go to Spain for 500 quid. So you've got to. You've got
yourself off.
Yeah, exactly. Horses for courses. But at the end of the day, the guys that want to come to Thailand, if you can make it as easy as possible to get here and be here, people are going to stay longer and want to be here. That's my assumption.
I wonder, it'd be lovely. I mean, I don't know the ins and outs of the costs and things like that. I suppose it's astronomical, but
for
the airline flights and stuff. it'd be great if Thai Airways got on board with that and made it even cheaper to fly.
I just, you know what sort of got me, what I didn't understand. I mean, one thing we did look at the other day, if you remember, we were looking at a flight that was like 27,000 baht or something, or whatever the flight was, yeah? And I said, the flight's this, Goldfinger, it's like, this is the flight. And the flight was only something like 14,000 baht. You remember? And the other 13,000 baht was taxes.
Yeah.
It's you know what I mean? And the thing that I can't get in my head, tell me if I'm wrong, still today, as we speak now, there's probably 30 or 40 big planes that are owned by Thai Airways that just sit on the runway near the hangars and are not used. And they've ordered more.
I can't fathom it.
Tell me about it. I mean, is it so expensive to get the fuel, to fly, to pay the taxes?
No, I mean, I really don't know. I'm guessing that, like when you tax your car, insure it, and all that kind of stuff over in the UK, I imagine that the powers that be charging for the slots to use the runway, the taxes, and the eco charges and all that just make it ridiculous,
Yeah.
So I suppose everybody, including the airlines, have their cross to bear, but of course it's a lot easier for them because any expense that's put onto them they just pass on to the passenger, and then a little bit more for good measure, to get a little bit more profit, because they've got a legitimate excuse to put up the prices, so why not put them up just that little bit more? But I have a funny, sneaky suspicion. I'm not saying that's the case, but I have a sneaky suspicion that could be the case.
There's I was just having a look on my phone on here just to see up to date. Yeah, there was 93 countries that were eligible for visa free to come into Thailand. Now they're going to make it that all countries are visa free to Thailand. It used to be 90 days on arrival. It is now only 60 days on arrival, and you can extend for 30 days. But they're saying from the 5th of January, maybe they're going to bring back in the 90 days, and you can extend that by another 30 days. So that's what they're saying. That's what they're saying at the moment. And it was a VOA, they called it, a visa on arrival. So it's
3 months with a potential whatever, another 60 days on top.
Yeah. It says visa waiver agreement with Thailand.
Right.
There's quite a few different things happening on the internet at the moment, and to be honest with you, Thailand never ceases to amaze me, because one day they'll say it's green and the next day they'll say it's blue. As you well know.
Yeah, I do know they're apt to changing the mind from time to time.
Yeah, I think
just have to wait till the smoke clears and see what actually happens, don't you? But 60 days is within the way within the amount of time that I've proposed to come. So I have no complaints, especially if you do stay a bit longer and you want an extension. That's okay.
The thing is, if you do the system, you can actually stay in Thailand without going out for 11 months. If you do the system, which there is a way to do that. All right, listen, we're going to come back. We're going to take a quick break, all right, for these guys that want to come on and say hello. And then we'll be right back with Goldfinger over in the UK, all right?
All right.